Hello everyone, this is Cherie, and this is the 31-day horror movie challenge. Today's challenge is number 19, a horror anthology. I chose KWAIDAN from 1964. Taking its title from an archaic Japanese word meaning ghost story, KWAIDAN is an anthology that adapts 4 folk tales with supernatural themes: the black hair, the woman of the snow, Hoichi the earless, and In a Cup of Tea. KWAIDAN was written by Yoko Mizuki and directed by Masaki Kobayashi. What works in this movie? The color cinematography. There were some great sets. So like the set design, the sound design was really good, really haunting at times. And there were a few special effects, such as this really like fast motion scene where an inanimate object is after this guy. I'm making it sound really scary, but in all honesty, this was miscategorized as a horror. It's really more fantasy. What doesn't work in the movie? For me, the pacing was just too slow. The film was too long. There were lots of wide shots that went on for long periods of time, and that to me is just really boring. Would any of the shorts have worked at feature length? Well, they all seemed like they were feature length. This movie is 3 hours and 5 minutes long. If you do a Google search on their information page, they're going to say that KWAIDAN is 2 hours and 3 minutes. No, it's 3 hours and 5 minutes. There are 4 segments, and so as it's divided up, the first one was 35 minutes. The second one was 41 minutes. The third one was 71 minutes. And the fourth one was 25 minutes. Okay, so the Academy and AFI and BFI define a feature-length motion picture as more than 40 minutes. So 2 of these were feature-length. And the first one was almost feature-length. I would say that the last segment, Into a Cup of Tea, it could possibly have been expanded into a feature film. But I gotta say, I just did not enjoy this movie. I didn't really enjoy the stories. They were all set back in the time of the samurais. Samurai movies are not my favorite. It wasn't the film for me. Can you name a movie that would have been better as a short? Yeah, Jean Dielman. Is there a common theme message in the shorts? Yeah, a lot of them. Okay, so it wasn't a horror anthology, but it was supernatural. And so there were ghosts in all of them. And a lot of them had the ghost telling the main character, don't talk about us. If you tell anything that you've seen, you're going to die. So that was like a common theme. So you can see a ghost, but you can't talk about it. So yeah, that's it. KWAIDAN, it was nominated for Best International Feature. It's on all these lists of the top Japanese films. I think it's on some top horror film lists. Here's the thing about these lists. I want to know if when people vote for things, when they're getting ready to compile these lists, do they really go back and rewatch them? Because you can see something when you're young that's really affects you, or for the time it was really great. And then when you revisit it, it's just not as good. Like I had that with Nightmare on Elm Street, which when I saw it in the theaters, scared to death. I think I saw it a couple of times because it was wonderful. I watched it a few decades later, and it didn't hit me as hard. It was fine. It was good, but it was kind of campy, and it just wasn't a great, super scary horror story like the horror that's out now. There's a lot of really scary horror. And again, KWAIDAN is more of a supernatural drama. It has some romance. And the only real horror elements are in the first one and the last one, where and just at the very end, like the last scenes or the last shots, but they're really not scary. So I'm a little disappointed that I spent 3 hours on this, although it's a classic, so I try to watch all the classics, so I can say I'm glad I saw it, but I do not recommend KWAIDAN. See you in the next one.